Did you know that you can enter orders right from Option Stalker? If you have an Interactive Brokers account or a Tradier account, you simply need to configure the settings, and I go through that in other videos. Once you've logged into Option Stalker, at the very top, you'll see Broker API. If you click it, you'll see a pop-up called Multi-Order. This is if you want to trade right from the charts using buy and sell lines for stock only. So I'm going to show you how to configure that first. In the pop-up, you'll see it on the left side of the video. There will be a listing of the accounts. You select the account, and then you can select the dollar allocation that you'd like to use per trade. In this case, I use $10,000, and it'll divide that $10,000 by the share price to calculate the quantity. Most day traders like to use a consistent or constant dollar allocation per trade, so the system will automatically figure out how many shares that is. Then there's another little drop down, and you can decide if you like to use market orders, buy on the bid, sell on the ask, or if you'd like to use a mid order, meaning you'll split the bid ask. When I trade stock, that's what I like to use. So I've got my dollar allocation and I've selected mid. I am ready to go. All I need to do is to click the X, close that window, and I'll show you the drop down here. When I click on Broker API, there's the multi-order pop-up that you would want to select. So let's go in and see if we can find some stocks to trade. You can see here this is the SPY, and it's breaking through this horizontal resistance level. We're on a buy signal, so we've got nice opportunity here. And I've got my favorite indicators down on the bottom of the chart, and so let's see what we can find today. Now I'm going to go into one of my scans that I like to use, and this is Pop Bull. We can find any scan that we want to use. So actually I'm going to look at where the relative strength is today and see if I can find some stocks with good liquid options. So I've got that marked in the table. So let's take a look, see if we see any stocks that look attractive to us. And initially, I'm just going to show you how to use the stock order entry feature. And this looks good. We'll put up a couple of major moving averages. I'd like to show you a tutorial on order entry where we actually make some money. So let's see if we can find something good to trade. Facebook's been relatively weak. PH, not bad. Starting to break through horizontal resistance here. We're getting through that compression. Stock looks pretty good. So I'm going to click buy, and I'm going to drop a buy arrow above the current price. So right now that is a buy stop order because I'm buying it higher than where the stock is currently. So the system already has this order waiting for the buy stop to be activated, and it is working. In this case, I'm using Interactive Brokers. It's working on Interactive Brokers. So I'm going to go to Broker API, and I'm going to click Portfolio. Here you will see that there is already a futures trade, and it's down $364. This is from a few days ago when I was doing a video. So forgot to exit that position, but it's okay. What I'd like to show you is there's our PH order. It's pre-submitted. Quantity is 57. There's our limit price, and we're on a buy stop right now. So if I want to, from this portfolio screen, I can also see all of my account valuations here. So I've got all of that information as well, and I can trade right from this screen. You'll see that I've got the position size, bid quantity, bid price, ask quantity, fill price. All this information is available, and then down below I have similar information. Now if I want to cancel this order, I can do it right from this screen. If I wanted to trade right from this screen, I could exit this ES trade right now. So I'm going to do it just for illustrative purposes. I'm just going to click the S, and it is going to place a sell order, and there you can see. So right now I'm trying to sell that ES position and we should be getting a fill on it, it's going to sell on the ask. So when I use this, it's going to either split the bid ask. If there's a tick wide market on it, it's just going to automatically place an order on the ask price. So we've got two orders working currently. We'll see if we get a fill, and we'll continue to look to see if we can do something else here. So I'm going to minimize that. Got our orders working. And I'm going to continue to click, and let's say that we find a stock that we would love to buy on a little bit of a pullback. Let's see if we can find something that suits us there. I'm going to go into a daily chart. Red Hat's been one that I've been watching. I do like the stock. It's got good relative strength. It's breaking out through this horizontal resistance. So let's go to a 5-minute chart, and I'm going to click buy. And I'm going to drop this buy arrow right on that prior resistance level from the day before. And you'll notice that this is a dark green line. That means that it is a buy limit order. So the system knows how many shares to do based on my dollar allocation. And also, if I go to sell a position, let's say that I get filled on Red Hat, and I now have a position. And let's say that I click the sell arrow to sell the position. First thing that the software is going to do is it's going to check for a position. If it finds one, it's going to default to that quantity. I'll put the sell order in. Let's say that we did have some shares, and it would calculate how many shares we're selling just based on what my open position is currently. If I don't have an open position and I'm selling up here, it's going to assume that it is a sell short to open. I can go down to the bottom and I can click cancel. And both of those orders are canceled. So I don't want to short this stock, so I can just show you. I'll drop a sell line right here. System knows I do not have a position, so it is routing a sell short stop order. So if the stock trades below this price, it is a sell short stock order. So that's how you trade stock from the screen. Very, very easy once you use that multi-order to define your dollar allocation. I'm going to cancel that, and let's go in and take a look at some of the other ways to enter an order. So I'm going to click Broker API. I'm going to click on Order Entry. We'll center that screen so that you can see it. I can also come in and I can enter the symbol manually, and let's stick with BZUN. That's what we were just looking at. So I'll click Quote after I enter the symbol, and what you'll see happen is that the software will actually call up a quote for the underlying stock, and then we'll see a price appear so that we can follow the tick data. And I'm sorry that it's taking a while to load. This is usually instantaneous, but because I'm running recording software, it's just taking longer to load. So I can trade the stock right from this screen as well. But in all honesty, if you're trading stock, you might as well configure the multi-order and trade right off the charts. It's so much easier. So let's go into option, because that's what most of us like to trade. We're all option traders. So I'm going to minimize this order entry screen because I want to find something that we might want to trade. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to take a look at some of these stocks, and let's just flip through them real quick and see if we see something attractive here on a daily chart. And if we do, then we're going to just go right in and see if we can do an option trade off of it. This is a nice bounce. We're getting through horizontal resistance here. I know that energy stocks have been very strong, so let me see if I can find something attractive there. And yes, this is a nice move higher. I love that breakout. We have a lot of good things working on HAL. So let's go into there we go. We've got a nice little breakout for the day as well. Got good relative strength. Everything looks good here. So let's bring up some options on HAL and see if there might be something that we want to trade there. So I come back into the options screen, type in HAL, and it'll bring up the option chain. And so we've currently got the stock around $50 or so. So let's take a look at an in the money option, and we'll go April 13. These options are going to expire tomorrow, but they should have a very high delta. So you just use the cursor and go right down the middle of the strike prices that you'd like to trade, click on it, and it'll pull in all of those option quotes. So we've got a bid of 165 and an ask of 169, and that's on the 48.5 calls. So let's go in and let's buy these $49 calls. When I click on the bid, it assumes that I'm going to sell the options. When I click on the ask, it assumes that I'm going to buy the options. So I'm going to click on the ask, and you can see buy to open is populated for the action. Quantity 1, I can ratchet that up or down. Let's go up to 5 contracts. I can also default the quantity in this order default screen. So if I always like to do limit orders, always day orders, always quantity, the exchange stays the same, I can apply that, and future orders will use that set of instructions. So I've got everything I need, and I've even got a little real-time quote window right down here, right by the price. So they're 126 bid offered at 128. Let's see if we can buy them at 126. Stock's pulling in just a little bit. Click submit. Order is submitted. Right there, it is a working order. So that's how we do an option trade. Just a straight buy call or buy put. And actually, we did buy HAL. There's our fill right there. So now if I clicked on the portfolio screen, I should see that stock, or those options, excuse me, in the portfolio screen. There they are, right there. There's also a stock rating, so this will give you an idea of what the stock has been doing on a 30-minute, 20-minute, 10-minute basis and what the current stock reading is. So if you start to see it going down, that's a sign that there is some selling pressure. If it's continuing to stay green and positive, then that's a good sign for your position. You can see that PH, we're still out there bidding. We have no fill on it. So let's see if we can find a spread to do. Going to take that window down, and let's see if we can find a nice stock. DAL is up quite a bit today. Let's take a look at that chart. I don't see anything I like. Well, that 200-day moving average is actually pretty close. So we've got a 200-day moving average at 52.43. I don't like much about this stock, so I don't want to. I could try and sell a put spread right here, but I'd rather find a stock chart that I like better. Something that actually has some decent momentum to it. That looks so much better. Good relative strength. You've got a divergence here. You have a buy signal and you have negative pressure. That's a divergence. We're above that level. So we're going to key off the 200-day moving average, which is 162.80. Let's see if we can sell a 162.50 put. So I'm going to bring back up my order entry screen, and I'm going to go to spread tab, and I'm going to enter symbol MCD, McDonald's. Now entering spreads is a little bit tricky, but it's not bad as long as you nail down the cursor. That is the primary thing you have to do. So we're going to go to the 162.50 strike price, and we could sell the 162.50s for 71 cents, buy these for 38. That's a 2.5 point spread, and we probably can bring in about 32 cents for that or so. I would not normally be very excited about doing a spread. I'd want more of a credit than that, but let's go ahead. I just want to show you how to enter the order. So I've got McDonald's clicked here, and I'm going to do the sell leg first. So because I'm selling the 162.50 puts, I want to click on the bid. And when I click on it, you'll see sell to open. Good. Now let's do the other leg. I have to click the next window and nail down that cursor, and I want to buy the 160 put, so I'm going to click on the ask. When I click on the ask price, I've got sell to open, buy to open. I check, yes, those are the correct strike prices. I can put my quantity, let's do 5, and then I can mark the duration, day order, order type, limit, all pretty standard. Now in this particular case, I am doing a credit spread because I am selling the closer to the money strike price. You can see that that spread is currently quoted 35 cents bid, offered at 42. So now I can enter my credit that I'd like to get, and let's see if we can split the bid ask spread, and we'll go for a 37-cent credit. Pretty close to the bid side, so we've got a good chance to fill. Put the account in, click submit. So the order will be pre-submitted, waiting for a chance to execute. This is in a paper trading account also, so it's taking a little bit longer for these orders to activate, but in a real account, it is super, super fast, fractions of a second. So that is how you enter a spread trade. If you want to trade combos, you can. You can see how you have to nail down each one of the individual legs. You can also trade E-mini S&P futures from the platform, and you can see the current price. It always defaults to the front month S&P futures contract. If I want to bid, let's say that I want to buy the futures right now, I'll click -2, and that will enter a trade to buy the futures 2 ticks below the current price. So I just clicked it there, and I've got an order working right now to buy those futures, and you can see it down in the lower portion of the order entry screen. That order has been submitted. I'm going to click cancel, so the order is canceled. So this is nice because you can buy the bid, you can sell the ask, you can go a tick above the ask, 2 ticks above the ask, tick below the bid, 2 ticks below. So this is nice for active traders. It's very easy to use. So that's the order entry feature as far as futures, spreads, options. I'm going to cancel our bullish put spread on McDonald's that we were trying to do. And I'm going to go back to the portfolio screen, and we'll take a look at what's going on there. And so let's say that I want to exit all of my positions. I wouldn't use this exit button all the time, but if you've got a number of positions on and you've got a adverse market move that's taking place, you can click that. It's a bailout feature, or you can individually exit these trades as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click S, and it will sell that HAL call position. And there you can see we just exited that position. That's how easy it is to use. And you'll see the total P&L. This updates. So for unrealized positions, it'll calculate it. That means that you still have an open position. There's also a realized P&L. So if I've been in and out of the same stock, it will consider the amount of money that I've made previously on that stock. And then you'll also be able to see what your current P&L is for any new position. Those are combined, and then you have your total P&L number right there. So that's how the order entry works. You've got just 3 things that you really need to keep in mind. You've got your portfolio screen that shows your account balances and your positions. It shows you your open positions and any orders that you have working. So this is your go-to screen. You can trade and exit from this screen. You can modify and cancel orders from this screen. Then you also have your order entry screen, which we took a look at. You can trade stock, options, spreads, E-mini futures right off of this interface. And then finally, you can enter trades right on the chart by dropping these lines. And this is really nice to use. Let's say I do have an inverted head and shoulders formation right here, and that neckline is right in here. And at that 100-day moving average, hey, if the stock gets above that 100-day moving average, it's broken the neckline and it's broken a major moving average, I'd like to buy. So you place a buy stop order. If you start seeing a lot of charts where, hey, I'd want to buy it if the stock does this, then you start putting your buy stop orders in and your sell short stop orders, and the system will execute those trades when the condition is met. So very, very easy to use. Again, this is available for Interactive Brokers customers or Tradier Broker customers. And if you have an account with either of those two firms, you may want to trade through the platform, but you don't have to. The other nice advantage to having those two interfaces is that it is a consolidated bid-ask that you're seeing across all exchanges, as opposed to the IEX version, which only uses real-time quotes from that one exchange. So using the Interactive Brokers and Tradier interface just for the data aspect of it will provide you with much more accurate information as well. Tends to be very, very ideal for day traders who are extremely active. IEX is just fine for M5 charts and above, but for 1-minute charts, you really should have Interactive Brokers or Tradier interfaced. Thank you.